Hey peeps, Amma here. Welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be talking about the importance of financial planning, including investment. Joining me for this conversation is Eddy Nsingi, who is a financial advisor in one of South Africa's top banks. Eddy, thank you so much for joining me and welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for having me.
Eddy, just to start today's conversation, as a financial advisor, what is the importance of getting financial advice, and how does this help in managing one's finance as well as considering to have an investment?
Well, people usually call me a doctor, but in money issues. That's because what we do is, just like a doctor is able to diagnose, whatever sicknesses you have, what medications you need to take for you to get better, it's exactly the same with financial advisors. We are able to sit down with clients or individuals and able to, to identify areas in the finances whereby, we can improve things and also help our client reach their goal. To give you an example, you've got somebody that's currently working that is planning to retire at age 65, but they do not know, are they putting enough money away? Am I saving enough? How do I go? How do I save money so that at age 65 or whatever age is it, I'm able to retire comfortably? And how much will I earn at that point until I die? So those are things that you need to have some, some form of expertise to be able to know. And that's where, as financial advisors, we come in.
What exactly is investment from your understanding as a financial advisor, and why is this very important? Why should one consider investing? Given that also we have different types of investment, we have education and investing for your children. Can you just share with us a little bit about this?
Yeah, look, in the life that we live, nowadays, we have, our life is not only based on the today. And as a financial planner or a financial advisor, I spend a lot of time thinking of long term. I think about the long term. I'm not only, focused on what's happening today. I'm also thinking about what will happen the next day, what will happen in a month, a year, and and more than that. In financial planning, first of all, we've got what we call wealth creation, where we create wealth. And as part of wealth creation, we have different investment goals. And usually your usual investment goal would be something like retirement. I speak a lot about retirement because it's a serious need in our country. If you look at how long the queues are for people collecting the SASSA pension, then you will actually realize how much there is a need for retirement planning. So retirement planning is one part of investment whereby I need to put money away for future. Remember, I will not always be able to work. There will be a time where physically, even if I would like to work, but my body will not allow me to work.
That's true.
But then again, at that stage, I need to be able to sustain my standard of living. I need to be able to buy bread. I need to be able to pay for medical costs. And for that to happen, I need to actually save some of my money today so that I can use it then. Yeah. And with retirement planning, that's basically what we do.
Can you share with us a little bit about investing towards education, for example? Let's say we have those parents who have children and they have not even started investing for their children's future or their children's education, for example. Why should they consider starting this investment? How important is investing for your children's education, for your children's future is?
The importance of saving towards education is something that I cannot stress enough. It's a serious need, especially in our country, whereby we have, first of all, education's costs are very high. That's one. And secondly, education goes up by more than 10%, which is higher than inflation. And with that said, the amount of money that is required for you to be able to fund just the education fees is quite high. And because of that is then important for parents to then start putting money away for that need. And what we usually do is we look at how much is it that it would cost, would cost today if you were to send your child at a university. And what I'll do is we have a system that allows us to actually work that out, taking into account your child's age and and the time they're planning on going to study. So if I'm 10 years old now, if the child is 10 years old now and they're planning to go to a university 8 years from now, I'm able to do a calculation that will factor in inflation, taking into account today's cost, up until the kid is 18. So we have a system of working that out, which is very important. Now, the longer you procrastinate, from putting money away, the more expensive this whole thing becomes. You know what I mean? So that's why it's important for you to start today. Whatever excess funds that you have, you just set it aside. We've got, investment that gives you a compounded interest. And as time goes by, you're able to, to actually, save quite a decent amount of money that can be used towards the child's education. And we've just seen now there is, somebody has been killed during a protest in Wits University after the Minister of Higher Education, Dr. Blake Zimbabwe, has talked about how, government would struggle to fund, higher education for all. And, that's how the lack of funding therefore makes it necessary for parents to sit down with a financial advisor and have that, that process done. Sit down and say, look, this is my cash flow, this is my budget, this is my income, and this is my child, this is the age. We're looking at the child going to school, going to university at age 18 or 19 or whatever the case may be. How much do I put away now so that at that stage, I don't have to run around, I don't have to go and take out a loan, I don't have to rely on government for me to fund my child's quality education. So it's an important discussion that we can spend hours and hours talking about.
So you speak of the importance of getting financial advice, where you help your clients with financial planning. So what is financial planning?
Well, financial planning, when we talk about financial planning, we ideally looking at two different aspects. We have what we call wealth protection, and on the other side, we have what we call wealth creation. Now, as part of our financial planning, we've got that wealth protection side of business is whereby we assume that you've got an income, you've got assets, and we're trying to protect that. You know what I mean? So you're looking at things such as, should I die today? How will I ensure that my family is protected? You know what I mean? Should I die today? How do I ensure that my family will still have a home? Should I lose my income today? What will happen? Will I have income? How will I be able to sustain, my life without an income? Should I be retrenched, which happened a lot during the lockdown? How will I still, be able to sustain my living? Yeah. So, so that's your wealth protection part. Now, another part of financial planning other than the wealth protection is what we call wealth creation. Now, wealth creation, that's basically where we're making the money. That's where we're trying to raise funds for future needs. As part of wealth creation, we've got various types of investments that can actually form of a client's portfolio. And these different investments have, they can actually be into they can all be into one client's portfolio because they all serve a different purpose. And to give you an example, we've got a tax-free investment. A government gives you up to 36,000 rand that you can invest without attracting any tax on. You know what I mean? That's a huge amount of money if you consider that this is on an annual basis that you are allowed to do this. You know what I mean? So we've got that tax-free investment. You've got retirement planning, and in retirement planning, you're looking at supplementing your retirement provision. If you've got retirement at work, this is actually also just you trying to boost whatever you boost your retirement savings. And to top it all off, you've got the government that provides you with tax benefits that are meant to encourage you to put money away. And those benefits, we call it the tax deductibility. Now, tax deductibility is you putting money away and you're able to claim it back from SARS on an annual basis. That is an important part of your portfolio, not only because of its tax benefits, but because also it allows you to supplement or to boost your retirement saving.
Can I consider a will as part of the things that you can include when helping me plan financially or when doing financial planning? And what exactly is a will? Just to give a background, maybe also you can explain to us why is it so important to have a will in one's life?
Yes. A will form part of financial planning because that's where it all starts. With the will, what happens is that the will dictates how your assets are to be distributed in case of your death. Okay, so it's a legal document that can be done, with your lawyer, or you can do it at your bank or your insurance company. There's many ways of you obtaining a will. And in that document, you highlight or you mention or you give your instructions. Should anything happen to me, this is how my assets have to be distributed. So that's basically what a will is, a legal document that holds your instruction at death.
So why is it so important to have one? Let's say I'm 30 years old now and I don't have a will, and I have people that are very close to me, like my children and my husband. Why is it so important to have a will? Why should I start, or why should I consider getting a will drafted?
Well, without a will, what will happen is your assets will not be distributed according to your wishes. So, how it may not represent how you feel, you know what I mean, when your assets are being distributed. To give you an example, as a 30-year-old, when you pass on, you've got a house, and that house will be distributed according to the law. And that law is what we call the Intestate law. So in that case, what will happen is the law will then be applied, and they will look at, are you married? If you're married, how are you married? And that will determine how your assets are to be distributed. And that is not necessarily how you might have felt. You might have wanted that your assets to go to your child, or to go to your mother, or to go to your sister. But because you had died without a will, what will happen is the law will then decide who gets what. That is one.
Wow.
Secondly, you know what I mean? The duration of that taking place. If you have a will in place, that whole process will be streamlined. It will be much quicker and much smoother. But without a will, it becomes a longer process, and those that you leave behind will then have to run, go here and there to try and establish for help. Whereas when there is a will in place, it's much easier to administer your estate.
Yeah, wow, that's interesting. Thanks a lot for sharing that with us, Eddy. I just want to find out from you. Let's say I know nothing about getting financial advice. I don't know what is financial planning. I don't know where to start in terms of getting financial advice. Where do I go? What must I do? Can you help us with this?
You've got a lot of services that are being offered online, especially during this time of social distancing. A lot of these services are being offered online by insurance companies. Your local banks are also, go and speak to an individual at your local bank, and then yeah.
Okay, let's say someone wants to get your assistance in terms of financial planning and so forth. How do they get hold of you?
Now, can be contacted by telephonically, and call me, and my offices. We will be there to assist you
Yeah.
with whatever need you may have.
Great. So you share with us the details. I will put them in the description box below. Thanks a lot for that, Eddy. I truly appreciate it. Thank you so much for creating the time for today's conversation. It was very thought-provoking, very enlightening, and we truly appreciate your time. And yeah.
Not a problem. You're always welcome.